That's right, Joe. We are so excited to celebrate this beautiful Tuesday morning. We have our good friend Michelle Young here with the Sugar Kettle Cafe, and we are making something delicious.
Yes, we are.
I'm so excited. So you brought a whole lot of things. Now, when I called you last week and asked you to come on the show, I told you we had a grill going. So you told me typically you guys don't grill something. You definitely stepped out of your comfort zone and you were bringing some flavor today.
Well, it just made it easier the narrowing down. We do grill a little, just it's not the majority of our menu.
Yeah. So tell us what we got.
Okay, so we're doing a grilled honey gingered pork tenderloin. We serve it on Thursdays at the cafe, and so we're gonna make the marinade and then I guess go through the whole process.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with that. What can I hand you real quick?
Okay.
So we've got our measuring cup. Now something really cool about this, you have a lot of ingredients to go into this marinade, right?
Well, yeah, I do. So, yes, we have soy sauce and we have some local honey and some ketchup and some oyster sauce, which isn't something most people do have in their homes. And I think I gave y'all the recipe.
Yeah, yeah. So the oyster sauce definitely brings some flavor. I have this in my home. We like to make pho. It's like an Asian dish at my house.
Yes.
This brings some kind of sweet. It kind of reminds me of teriyaki for folks at home who haven't used it before.
That's true. That's true. And I like. There's not many foods that I like. Once I find the way I make it, I stick to it. And this is one of them. Just because when you grill this with the honey on it, it puts this crust on the outside of it. That I don't know. It's kind of like that perfect balance.
Yeah, so that's what you need. So it looks like you're putting the same measurements of each in there.
Of each of these things, yes.
Yeah.
And then we'll adjust down.
So we do want to talk about the cafe for folks at home who've never been, what you have to offer, what's your favorite thing to do. You're just kind of local, and a lot of people love those small local places right here on the Gulf Coast.
We are local. We don't do any advertising. We've been there 12 years, but I can't tell you how many people come in and say, I've never been here, I've just driven by it. So anyway, but we like it that way. We have the same, we have a different menu every day. So we have lots of customers that come in more than once a week.
If people want to come see you today, where are you located at?
We are at 1015 Daphne Avenue, and that is across the street from Target on 64 in Daphne.
All right, well, definitely keep that in mind. We're going to keep on working on this marinade. When we come back, we're going to start working on this pork tenderloin. It is going to be so yummy. Michelle, thank you so much. Back to you, Joe.
All right.
Welcome outside to our jet deck. We are cooking with the Sugar Kettle Cafe. This is Michelle. Michelle, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell the folks a little bit about the Sugar Kettle Cafe.
We're a home cooking style restaurant in Daphne, across from Target on 64, and we serve breakfast and lunch 6 days a week. We're closed on Saturdays.
How long have y'all been open?
12 years.
12 years. So if you're in the area, you know of the Sugar Kettle Cafe, and for those of you who haven't experienced before, you got to go and check it out. What are some of the favorite dishes and stuff that y'all have there?
Probably fried chicken, country fried steak, meatloaf. Tomato pie is amongst the very top.
I like all those things.
Yes.
I do. I love some tomato pie. I haven't had tomato pie in a minute. I need to come check that out. That sounds good.
It is one of the favorites, and it is going off the menu. Collards are about to come on. So
collards coming on, tomato pie going off. So either way, you're a winner, right?
That's right.
Hey, so what are we working on today?
It's a grilled honey gingered pork tenderloin. We started on the marinade earlier that I just finished up, and we're going to stick it in. I prefer, a lot of people have marinating dishes of some sort. I prefer just a Ziploc bag so you can kind of get the whole thing wrapped around it, and it needs to marinate at least 8 hours or overnight. I prefer just to do it overnight. It's easier. It's done. You don't have to worry about it that morning while you're getting ready for work or anything.
The longer it is, the more flavor you get in there, right?
Yes, and and it forms this, it's this thick marinade, so this honey gets all over it, and then when you grill it, it makes this nice little char on the outside.
Oh man, that's the best part. That's good when you get that char going on with the grill. So tell the folks a little bit about what y'all have been doing during the pandemic. We know this has been extremely hard for the restaurant industry. Any changes right now that your customers need to know about, or business as usual? Tell us a little bit about that.
The COVID was, fortunately we were a really small restaurant and we already did a lot of to-go business, so we actually at least knew how to do that.
Good.
It was a huge adjustment. I said I had to redo a business plan in 2 weeks that I'd spent 2 years doing before.
Wow.
But anyway, and I said you get all the air out of this.
Yeah.
And then this glaze you'll use to, this marinade you'll cook down to make a glaze when you put it on.
All right, so that sounds
So-
good. So you got that. You have one that has already been marinated,
I do.
right?
I've got one that I've already marinated so that we're ready to go.
All right.
So anyway, I don't remember where we were on the other, but
Yeah, we were talking about just some of the changes you made in your business plan and all that kind of stuff.
we started offering like dinner to go so people can come in and pick that up, so that was new for us. And then just the quantity of what we were selling out of the freezers for people to have for family dinners. I think people just adjusted to not eating out all the time.
Sure. So
So-
we're going to take a break in this segment. When we come back, we're going to finish this up. But so right now, are you doing the dinners to go still at the
Yes.
restaurant too?
Yes.
Okay, so dinners to go still at Sugar Kettle Cafe and dine-in too?
Yes.
All right, so you've got plenty of options, plenty of different ways where you can enjoy all this goodness at the Sugar Kettle Cafe. You don't want to miss it. I can't wait to find that thing on the grill, heat it up, get that char going, and taste it. Chelsea?
We are back outside on this Tuesday morning with our friend Michelle from Sugar Kettle Cafe. We're working on something delicious. We've been working on it all morning, a pork tenderloin, but you cranked it up a notch.
I did. It's called a grilled honey gingered pork tenderloin. It's been marinated. Well, this is one that's marinated overnight. That's what I highly recommend. And we're just going to drop it on the grill, and it'll make this nice little charred outside. The honey just kind of makes this thick crust on
So
it.
is the honey the key to get that crust that you want on there?
I think so, just because it's thick and it makes the marinade thick and it makes it stick to the tenderloin.
Yeah, so you know, tenderloin typically can cook pretty fast. How long do you recommend folks keeping this on the grill?
It's going to be 20 to 25 minutes, I would guess. We cook it to 145 and it's slightly pink still. If you really like your meat done, then you need to cook it to 160.
All right, well definitely keep that in mind. We have one done already
Yes,
too this morning.
We do. We have one that's done. And then the marinade I cooked down and made a glaze out of.
I'm so excited to try this morning. You were just telling me a second ago, your busy season is quickly approaching next month.
Yes, Thanksgiving is our busiest week of the year. We just make lots of sides, and people pick up anything from cakes to sides to their full Thanksgiving dinners. It just takes a lot of pressure off of them, and anyway, we've been doing that for a long time. So
Yeah, so if people want to go ahead and do that this year, I know we're thinking ahead towards the holidays, do they need to call you guys beforehand, like a week or
we'll
so
put a menu
before?
out the end of this month, and then the deadline, I believe, is like the Monday or Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I can't remember exactly. This is just that marinade that I cooked down till it was thick, and you just drizzle it over the top.
That looks absolutely delicious. Now the cool thing about your spot, you guys have a different menu every day, so if someone wants to come every day, they can try something different.
Yes, and you can look online to see what days are the foods that your favorite, because there's people that have their favorite days, and there's some days like fried chicken's cooked 3 or 4 days a week. There's some things that we have to cook more.
Yeah, so definitely keep that in mind if you're wanting lunch today. Breakfast is almost probably over, but lunch is still there. You could go eat breakfast tomorrow. This is smelling delicious, so go ahead and make sure you go visit them there on the Eastern Shore. Michelle, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, we'll have all the details on fox10tv.com.